Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Santa Rosa and Escambia County Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you're here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeepings to note. And so before we jump into our presentations for tonight, my name is Catherine, and I'll be your facilitator for this session. First, your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. This is one of many college presentations being offered tonight, so feel free to check the schedule on the website for more. And lastly, this session is being recorded, and all sessions are being recorded, and so feel free to visit those, and they will be available at strivescan.com/Santa Rosa-Escambia. We'll go ahead and jump right in. So I'll get out of the way and introduce our first representative from the University of Tampa.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Just give me one moment. Let's see. All right. So here at the University of Tampa, our true motto is we want students to love where they live and learn. So we offer a variety of things, including living in the Tampa Bay area. So if anyone's familiar with Florida or turned on a sports channel recently, I'm sure you know that we are home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well as the Tampa Bay Lightning. We really like students to immerse themselves into the Tampa culture because we are located right in the heart of downtown. We are just across from the Hillsborough River, connected by the Riverwalk to one of the largest sidewalks, Bayshore Boulevard in Florida. We also have historical sites such as Ybor City and on our very own campus. You can see on the Zoom background behind me, we have Plant Hall, which was built in the 1800s, and we are very close to a lot of Florida's most famous beaches here in Tampa. So we like to say our campus is the best of both worlds. So again, we are located just across the river from the hustle and bustle of downtown Tampa life, but we are a small, medium, private university located here as pictured. Walking from one end of campus to the other is around a 10-minute walk, so it's a very short commute, and there are no major city streets cutting through, so it's a very safe walk from class to class and from dorm to dorm. So we are an internationally accredited university. We have students every year from all 50 states and over 70 different countries. And personally, I like to throw out there, because I am a University of Tampa alumni, I was born and raised in Florida, and even going to an in-state school, I truly feel like I had an out-of-state experience. Just being surrounded by the diversity and culture around me in Tampa Bay and at the University of Tampa, it's really, truly a great experience. Here we like to have classes sized for learning. So our average class size is around 20 students. So very similar to what a lot of students see coming from high school. It's kind of the same feel where you get to know one-on-one your professors and your classmates. You get to build those networking relationships that carry on past college as well. And we have over 200 different areas of study. That includes majors, minors, masters, and concentrations. And internships are a very vital part of any college education. So we like to offer many internships for our students. Some majors might even require an internship for graduation requirements. And we like to see students go abroad. There's a photo of one of our students studying at NBC Studios in New York City, working on the Today Show. But we also like students to stay in the Tampa Bay area and work with the many Fortune 500 companies that we have partnerships with. And here are just a few here. And a lot of the times these internships have historically turned into full-time jobs for students post-graduation. So we have a lot of alumni living and working in the Tampa Bay area currently. And we also love to offer travel opportunities for our students. So we offer on a normal calendar year over 1,000 different travel and study abroad opportunities. We have the traditional semester-long study abroad, as well as different travel courses if you want to stay on campus and only travel during your spring, summer, or winter break, you can do that as well. And we also offer a semester at sea. So you get to hop on a really cool cruise ship, sail around the world, and port at 10 different countries, all while studying your major. So campus life is always an important part of why you choose your college. And for the University of Tampa student, we look for students who are independent. So the average University of Tampa student comes around 900 miles from home to live in the Tampa Bay area. And we also look for students who are metropolitan. So they're ready to jump into that hustle and bustle workload of living in the city, as well as making a community on campus. So we have over 27 different dining options on campus. Here are just a few of my favorites. And pictured here is the largest cafeteria, our Vaughn Center cafeteria. Moving around Tampa, so we offer bike rentals through our Fitness and Recreation Center, as well as zip car rentals for students who are 18 years or older with a valid driver's license. You can drive that over to the beach for the day or even take it to Disney with some friends. And of course, moving around, many students do choose to walk because we are connected to Bayshore Boulevard, the Tampa Riverwalk, and everything is very walkable and accessible. This is our brand new Fitness and Recreation Center set to be complete in spring of 2022. We added 3 basketball courts, 2 sand beach volleyball courts, a lap pool, and our very own hot tub. And this is where you go to check out those bike rentals, as well as take part in any fitness class, such as yoga, Zumba, cycling, strength training, as well as our main gym area. So we do offer over 20 different NCAA Division II teams, and we do offer Division I women's beach volleyball and applying to the University of Tampa. So you can go about 3 different ways: the Common App, Coalition, or UT app. And we look for your high school transcripts, essay, and the letter of recommendation, and we are test optional. And the one date I like to highlight here is Early Action 1, which is to be complete by November 15th. And we do offer a number of different financial aid opportunities here at the University of Tampa. The average financial aid package for each student coming in around $18,000. And with that, I'd like to invite you all to follow us on social media to keep up to date with all admissions news. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. The next representative is from Tuskegee University.
Good evening. At Tuskegee, students are a part of the history in the making. There is no learning environment like Tuskegee in the world. Since its founding in 1881, Tuskegee has captured recognition for influencing the very understanding of higher education and the innovation of scientific discovery. Today is no different. Whether it's architecture, developing better constructed homes to conserve energy, or fight devastating floods in coastal areas. Our bioethicists probe the moral dilemmas in biomedical research, or our researchers develop new technology and nanotechnology and complicate computational science. Tuskegee faculty and students concern themselves with making extraordinary improvements in how we live now and in the future. We are doing what the world wants done. How do we do it? Commitment to students, commitment to teaching, commitment to research, commitment to excellence. Our academics, veterinary medicine, engineering, architecture, agricultural sciences, nursing, aerospace science, business, information technology are just a few of our academics. It's why NASA partners with us to produce 75%, partners with us, and we produce 75% of African-American veterinarians. It's why leading global businesses invest in us. It's why the US government visits us and tours our excellence students. Our campus is extraordinary. Tuskegee enrolls 3,000 students. We have over 100 academic, professional, civic, social, international, performing arts, and other organizations. Athletics, Tuskegee competes in 12-team Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference teams. We are accredited. Our admissions process for students who want to enter in the coming fall, March 1st is the deadline. But we prefer, if you want to take advantage and get first choice, is to enroll as soon as you begin your senior year. We take students who have a 21 ACT or 1,000 SAT and a 3.0 cumulative grade point average. Nursing, veterinary medicines, and some of the graduate programs have extra academic requirements, but those are done by the schools. Students with exemplary academic credentials may qualify for merit-based scholarships. Others may qualify need-based financial aid, including federal and state grants and loans. Just a little bit about Tuskegee. Tuskegee is ranked among the top HBCUs receiving federally funded research and development grants, according to the National Science Foundation. One of the nation's best educational institutions in the South, as spotlighted by U.S. News and World Reports. One of the few universities in the nation that offers the distinguished PhD program in materials science and engineering, and the only one among HBCUs. Also, the university uniquely offers the PhD in integrative bioscience. It is #1 in the state of Alabama in producing Black baccalaureates in math, engineering, biological, and life sciences. The only HBCU with a fully accredited College of Veterinary Medicine that offers the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree and produces more than 75% of the nation's Black veterinarians. It is one of the top 25 undergraduate degree producers among HBCUs. It is home to the National Center for Bioethics and Research and Health, home to the Center for Plant Biology Research, which is training an international cadre of scientists to continue the work of Dr. George Washington Carver. It is one of 4 centers founded by NASA to develop the science and technology for growing food in space during human missions. It's a national leader in producing African American engineers. Tuskegee is the home of the first and oldest baccalaureate nursing degree program in the state of Alabama. We love our students, we love our campus. To visit Tuskegee, go to www.tuskegee.edu and welcome.
Great, thank you so much. Just another reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button. Any questions at all for our representatives, they are here and available to answer your questions. Moving right along, our next representative is from the United States Military Academy at West Point.
Good evening. This is Dr. Chuck Merkel, and I am the Congressional District Coordinator for Florida's 1st Congressional District. My goal here is not to convince you to go to West Point or try to persuade you to go to West Point, but it is to make you aware of the fact that there is a United States Military Academy and the benefits of a West Point education. West Point was founded on the 16th of March, 1802. Yes, I said 1802, when Thomas Jefferson signed a law that created the Military Academy. The mission of the Academy is to commission leaders of character for service in the United States Army. West Point is a 4-year institution, and it is offering a Bachelor of Science degree in any one of 36 majors and 15 minors. our classes are small, 15 to 18 students typically. And so students can get individual attention, and the instructors are very accessible. Excuse me. There are no tuition charges for cadets who are at West Point. In fact, each of the cadets receives a stipend during the 47 months they are at the academy. The application process is a bit complex, but the breakdown for consideration is 60%, 30%, and 10%. And I'll explain each of these. The 60% is academics, and this means your class standing and scores in the ACT and the SAT, and everyone must take the writing requirement. What West Point does is they have a system that there's a superscript, which means they take the highest math and the highest English score and combine them, and they do not necessarily have to be from the same test. 30% of the evaluation is on leadership potential. And what does this mean? This means that if you're involved in a sports activity, strive to be the team captain or win a letter. If you're involved in a club, become the club president. If you're involved in Boy Scouts, aim to become an Eagle Scout. If you're in junior ROTC, aim to get those leadership positions, which will help you. Community activities is another way to show leadership potential. And the 10% is successfully completing the cadet fitness assessment. This consists of 5 events, and 2 of those events, the push-ups and the sit-ups, the pull-ups and the push-ups, have to be videotaped so the athletic department can review them. All candidates must complete a physical examination because you're expected to go into the Army after graduation, and you have to be qualified physically to serve in the military. It takes about 60 to 90 days to get the medical completed, so plan accordingly. Every candidate is required to get a nomination. In the 1st Congressional District, for example, this means Congressman Matt Gaetz. He will nominate 10 students for each slot. And he will, that means that each student has a 1 in 10 chance of being selected. Each of these states have 2 senators and apply to those senators as well. In Florida, that's Senator Rubio and Senator Scott. One of the things that is available to those individuals who have a parent on active duty as a career, they can apply for a presidential nomination. The vice president has several nominations available. If person is in junior ROTC, and that junior ROTC unit is a unit with distinction, they may also be nominated through their junior ROTC leadership. Individuals on active duty, reserves, National Guard can also get a nomination through their chain of command. Those individuals who have a parent who was killed in action or was awarded a Medal of Honor may also get a nomination through that method. If candidates are a little bit weak in math or English, then there is a prep school available. And the prep school is co-located on the campus of West Point. And there are 240 slots each year for those individuals attending the prep school. The Association of Graduates has fully paid slots available in some civilian institutions, such as Valley Forge Military Academy in Pennsylvania or Marion Military Institute in Alabama. The application deadline each year is the 31st of January, and the medical deadline is the 15th of April. Acceptance letters are generally sent out after the 1st of May. In summary, be proactive. If you receive paperwork from the academy, do not sit on it. Try to complete it as quickly as possible. Apply for all nominations. to which you're eligible. Prepare and train for the SAT, ACT, and a cadet fitness assessment, and communicate with your field force representatives who are there to help you, and their reward is seeing you in cadet gray. I wish each of you great success in your application, and always remember, go Army, beat Navy.
Great, thank you so much. So much great information shared. The next representative is from the University of Connecticut.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Give me one moment. I just want to share my screen. So thank you so much to everyone for joining us here this evening. Thank you to my fellow panelists for all the great information about their institutions. My name is Paul Ostick. I am an admissions representative at the University of Connecticut. I actually recruit in the state of Connecticut, and I'm filling in for my colleague, Daniel Teague. So I just want to start off by saying I highly recommend, since he is the territory manager in the state of Florida and other portions of the southeastern United States, that you reach out to Daniel Teague with any questions or concerns or opportunity to introduce yourself with any interest or questions that you may have. So at the University of Connecticut, we are located again in the state of Connecticut. If you were not aware, this is the state of Connecticut right here. We have 5 campuses: Storrs, Hartford, Waterbury, Stamford, and Avery Point. The majority of students that are going to apply from out of state, such from the state of Florida, are going to be applying to the Storrs campus for the most part. That is our main campus. So we are about 19,000 undergrad at the Storrs campus. First year students. Overall, we're about 24,000 undergraduate students across all 5 campuses. One thing I will say is, you look at UConn Avery Point, that's on the Long Island Sound. So students who study maritime studies or marine science will actually finish their coursework at the Avery Point campus. UConn Stamford is actually located right near New York City. So there are also great opportunities within the School of Business for some great opportunities in terms of different internships and all of that, if you're interested. UConn Hartford has our School of Social Work, and UConn Waterbury also has some various different programs like allied health for all 4 years. So most likely you will be applying to the Storrs campus. Again, it's a more rural campus, in the north central portion of the state. Right now you can see behind me, I'm standing in front of the dairy bar. Not really, it's just my background. But UConn has a strong agricultural program where we actually have cows on campus. I was driving home from campus this evening after work, and I literally passed by. There must have been 40 to 50 cows standing by one of the fences along the road. They will use the agricultural students will use the dairy from those cows to make the ice cream and some of the dairy that they sell in the dairy bar and serve on campus, which is really cool. I will also say, again, larger rural campus. We have buses running throughout the entire, from early in the morning till late at night. But everything you need is there, from the student union, the dining halls, the dormitories. We're about 2 hours away from New York City, an hour and 45 minutes away from Boston, 45 minutes away from Providence, and then obviously the capital in Hartford is right by our Hartford campus, about 30 minutes away from Storrs. So we are a typical Northeast school, and you're going to have plenty of change in the seasons in terms of you're going to have summer, fall, winter, and spring. We have 115 plus different majors, 320 plus minors across 10 different schools and colleges. Some of our schools and colleges with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, things like biology, chemistry, the social sciences, economics, English, the College of Agriculture, Health and Natural Resources, things like allied health science, environmental science, nutritional science. We have the School of Engineering. We have the School of Business, the School of Fine Arts. I highly recommend, if you're applying to the School of Fine Arts, you'll do everything every other student does, but you'll also have to do some sort of talent-based evaluation, whether that's a portfolio or whether that's an audition. We have the school of social work, which I mentioned is at the Hartford campus, but you can start at stores if you'd like. We have the School of Nursing, the School of Engineering. Those two schools you do have to have completed or be currently taking as a senior chemistry and physics to apply into those. So just be aware of that. And then finally, for those students who don't know what they want to study, we have what's called the ACES program, the Academic Center for Exploratory Students. So you can come in undecided, undeclared, work with our ACES advisors to find out what you truly value before you make a decision on what your major will be. So definitely look into that. If you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or Dan, as I mentioned. It is really important to understand at the University of Connecticut, we accept the common application, the coalition application, and we are regular decision. So we have a December 1st priority deadline for first year applications for merit scholarships in the honors program. That means that we're, it's just, again, priority consideration for those things. There's something extra you need to do besides apply and complete your file. January 15th is the final deadline for the store's main campus. Again, there's no difference of what you need to turn in before December 1st or January 15th. Besides the fact that if you choose to be test optional or not. We highly recommend doing the FAFSA at the same time. So you can get a financial aid package when you receive your decision on March 1 before finally making a decision before the May 1 deadline. Please connect with us. We have in-person visit days if you happen to be in the state of Connecticut throughout the fall. You can see those dates there, but we have plenty of virtual experiences for you to take advantage from, one-on-one chats, live events, tons of on-demand content. So reach out to us, reach out to myself, reach out to Dan, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Awesome. Thank you. Just another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button. Any questions at all about the college application process, or if you have a question about a specific school, you can also submit questions there using the Q&A. Please include the school name, again, if you have a specific question. Our last school, but certainly not least, is from University of Florida.
Thank you very much for having us here tonight. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Colin Conroy. I am one of the admissions officer here with the University of Florida. So I'm just going to kind of go over today a little bit about our application process and some of the great programs that UF has to offer you should you choose to attend here. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so something we're really proud of. We actually do need to update this slide as the rankings just came out yesterday, but we are currently the number 5 ranked public university in the entire country, which is something we're really, really proud of. So we've made a really big push to get into that top 5 over the last 10 years or so. We recently just finished hiring over 400 new faculty members, help bring our student to faculty ratio down to 17:1. So we're constantly hiring, new faculty members who are at the forefront of their respective disciplines, whether it be in leadership and the VP of our new enrollment management, whether that be in different STEM subjects, engineering, math, science, all that good stuff. So we're constantly hiring and surrounding students with the best faculty that we can have to make sure that UF is consistently one of the top performing universities in the entire country. So in terms of where we are located, so we are located here in Gainesville, Florida, which is in North Central Florida. So if you're not familiar with Gainesville, or you haven't been here, we're about an hour and a half from Jacksonville, about 2 hours north of Orlando, about 2 hours north of Tampa. If you're up in the Panhandle, which is where this is going on, we're about 5 hours. So we are in a different time zone from you all. So you are in Central Time and we are in Eastern Time. So we are an hour ahead of you. But Gainesville is a really nice college town, and it has that really good college town feel. So I am a little bit biased about how much I love Gainesville. I am a Gainesville native and a 2-time UF alum. So I tried to escape Gainesville after I graduated, but the pull was just too strong, and I ended up back here, and I'm really glad I did. So if you'd like to be outdoors, Gainesville offers a lot in that respect. So there's lots of local state parks and hiking trails that you can go on. One of my favorite is about 10 or 15 minutes from campus. It's called the Chua Trail. It's a great place to check out alligators, wild bison, wild cattle, horses, wild boar, things like that. Especially if you go just after the new year, so January, February, when it's still a little bit cold and trying to warm up. The alligators usually out trying to get some sun. Very common to see 100+ alligators on a single hike. Most of them are off to the side, so the trail is usually pretty safe. But every now and then you do have one meandering in front of you. So as long as you're faster than your friend, you should be all right. But all seriousness, it's a great place to explore. In terms of food and nightlife, there's many local restaurants that are constantly coming and going. So it's a great new place to try food. If you like to go out at night, then we have downtown and midtown that offers some great fun for students as well. In terms of our application process and priority deadlines, so our application is technically open all the way up until March 1st. However, if you would like to be considered for our priority application, then you want to make sure you meet these deadlines that are here in front of you right now. So that November 1st deadline is when the application is due. We are on the Common and Coalition application. We don't have a preference. Typically tell students whichever one houses more programs that you want to apply for, go ahead and use that one. So you want to make sure that you make that deadline by November 1st. Your SAR is due on December 1st. So for that one, this is what you're going to use to report your grades for 9th, 10th, 11th grade. And for 12th grade, you're going to let us know what courses you are taking. So we actually do not require you to send us any transcripts ahead of time. We would only need transcripts on the back end if you are accepted to UF. So when you enter that SAR and you connect it with your application, you want to make sure that you've entered in all your grades correctly for 9th, 10th, 11th grade. You also want to make sure that you've indicated whether it was an honors course, IB, pre-AP, ACE, dual enrollment, whatever the case may be. And then of course, the grade for both of your semesters while taking that course. At the back end, after you're admitted, then we'll go back and we'll look at your final official transcripts and we'll make sure that your SAR does match up with what you submitted. Last deadline you're going to see there is December 15th. That's when we need your ACT or SAT scores. We don't have a preference, but we do require them. We are not test optional. I know over the last year, while COVID, I know it's still going on, but when COVID first hit, many schools did go test optional. We did not, and we do not expect to going forward. That's a decision that comes from our Board of Governors up in the city of Tallahassee. So they oversee all of our state university systems. So they didn't waive it last year, so I would not expect them to waive it this year. We do super score both the ACT and the SAT, so we will make sure that the score we see is your best, so they don't have to be from the same SAT test. So if you took the SAT 3 or 4 times, we'll take your best scores on that and make sure we see that. If you only took the ACT, we'll take the best section scores on that to make sure that your best score is going forward. If you are a dual enrollment student and you are expected to earn your AA degree, we do still recommend that you apply as a freshman. That way you will get full freshman consideration. If we can offer you admittance as a freshman, fantastic, you'll start as a freshman. You still will bring those credits with you. However, if you're not admitted as a freshman and you indicated that you're expected to earn your AA degree, then you'll have the option to opt in to have it considered as a transfer student should you wish to pursue that option. We are major blind, so feel free to put down any major you wish. It does not go into our review process at all in terms of making a decision. You don't have to officially declare a major until the end of your sophomore year, so we definitely encourage students to make sure they're taking a couple intro classes and making sure that they're, whatever major they choose and decide on is going to be a good fit for their career goals going forward. So we definitely give you the opportunity to kind of explore a little bit before you finally make your decision. In terms of our academic review process, so here's our middle 50% from last year for our GPA, SAT, and ACT scores. We also review holistically, so your test scores, your ACT scores, your grades, those are just one part of a review. We also want to make sure that you submit a well-rounded essay and resume that includes all the great things that you've been doing in high school and beyond. As far as student life is concerned, we have over 1,000 different student organizations, so chances are there's something for you to get involved in. If there's not, you have the ability to start your own, and so we'd highly encourage you to do that. But more than likely, you'll find your own community here on campus. Please make sure you connect with us in any way possible. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our office by phone or email. We'll be happy to get in contact with you.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you to all our representatives for all the great information. We do have some time left, so we're going to dive now into our Q&A portion of this session. So I invite all our representatives to please turn on their cameras to get ready to unmute themselves. And our first question here is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented it.
Sorry, my dog just came in here. So my piece of advice for students going through the college search process, Bruno, get down. Sorry about that. Would be to really look holistically at what you want out of your college experience. Not just the major in education. Sorry, he's crazy. Bit of a commercial break here. But really the area you want to live in, the community, what you want to build around you. Oh, so sorry, guys. And really the networking connections you want to make and where you see yourself post-graduation. So really evaluate all of those things holistically, and that'll give you a better picture of what you want out of your education.
Okay. Like Morgan says, you need to look at the environment. Do you want to be in a big campus, smaller campus? Do you want to have a more intimate, grouping in your classes and in your, in your environment? Do you want more of a rural or a smaller country setting, or would you prefer to be in a big city? As well as looking at what majors you're really interested in and what that university has to offer. If you know some alumni, talk to them and see what their experience was like. And so kind of get a feel for what you would enjoy as a college student while you're pursuing your academics. What environment do you want to be in?
West Point would be a little bit different from some of the other schools in that it's a boarding school, and you don't have to worry about what to wear because everybody will be in uniform and everybody will be in the same uniform. Everybody eats together. It's a sight to behold, 30 minutes in and out. But I would also say that the friends that you are as your classmates will be lifelong friends. And many times you will be in a situation where you'll be dependent on them. When I deployed to Afghanistan, I had young lieutenants who were in charge of villages. So there's a great deal of responsibility, but also I would urge you to have fun. There's incredible opportunities at the academy, and also incredible opportunities to study abroad and meet different people from different cultures and countries and that sort of thing. So have fun, but it will be an incredible opportunity, and you'll get an education second to none.
Yeah, so I think the best advice I could give you would be to, do your research as much as possible right now. I think if you have not already started, I think with COVID, the majority of institutions across the country really increased the opportunities for virtual experiences, more information, a little bit more of a robust, amount of things for you to learn about them. So do that research now. Try to find out what the best fit for you is. Obviously the schools here this evening that are from Florida, you can visit or closer, but if you're able to visit schools from other states, I would recommend doing that as well. So keep every door open, but then whittle it down to the 5 or 6 schools that you decide to apply to. Okay.
My advice, kind of echoes everyone else's. Make sure whatever school you do decide on is a good fit for you. Make sure it's going to support your career goals going forward. What type of supports does the school you attend have for you as you get closer to graduation? So not only what can they offer you while you're there, but how are they going to help you take that first step after you step off campus, and you're pursuing your dream job, your career, or whatever the case may be. What support systems they have in place. They have career fairs for you. Do they have job placement support? I know here at UF we offer some interview practice, resume prep, cover letters, looking over. So, a lot of schools do a lot of great things. And at the end of the day, each school is unique as you are. And so we want to make sure that, wherever you end up is the right fit for you.
Great. So much great advice. We'll try to squeeze in one more while we have a little bit of time here. So we'll do this one pretty quickly. But the next question here is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? Again, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
That is a great question. One thing I want students to remember about the University of Tampa is really about taking advantage of the location that we're in. If you are a business person, if you're a marine biology person, we really have something for every major and every person here at UT. We're close to the water. We are the cybersecurity capital up and coming in downtown Tampa. And there's just so much to explore and so many networking connections to be made here in Tampa. And it's one of the largest growing cities in the world. So just leaving students with that thought in the back of their head about what not only UT can do for students, but what the city of Tampa can do for students.
What I would like for students to remember that it is a very unique, close family, a real relationship with faculty and other students. When you come to campus, you develop, again, lifelong friendships, and that we have international students. We do international internships and learning experiences. So it's just a very varied experience that's fulfilling and enjoyable.
The thing I would like the students to remember is that the school has been around since 1802, and there's been thousands of graduates from the United States Military Academy. And the first half of the 19th century, the only engineering school in the country was West Point. And so that's why the focus initially was on engineering. What the history department likes to say is the history we study was made by people we taught. And so it's rich in tradition, and just like as I mentioned earlier, just take advantage of every opportunity you have, because there'll be many, and enjoy yourselves.
So I think the one thing I want you to remember about UConn is it is an opportunity for those students from the state of Florida who want to venture up to the Northeast, enjoy all 4 seasons, get a wonderful education. I like to tell students they're going to have an opportunity for an a la carte experience where you're going to get to pick and choose, from, the academics, the activities, going to men and women's basketball games. UConn is like, the capital of, college basketball, in our opinion. So there's a lot going on for you to do, and you can have a great experience at the University of Connecticut.
The one thing I like y'all to remember about UF is, we're going to support you in helping you find out what you want to pursue, through your education here. So like I said, we are a major blind application process. So we do give you that flexibility. We want you to meet with our advisors. We want you to talk to your professors and make sure that it's going to be a good fit for what you want to pursue. Additionally, as a land, sea, and space grant institution, we have lots and lots of great research opportunities for students to partake in at the undergraduate level. So it's not just limited to our upper division or our grad students, professional students. We do have many research opportunities available at the undergrad level to pursue.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys did that right on time, so that was great. But I think that was a great way to end, to hear about all the different things that each institution has to offer, but what truly makes them unique. So again, thank you so much to our representatives for being here. Thank you for sharing. Again, they're here as a resource, so feel free to use them. Again, we thank you for your time, and we thank you to each of you for joining us. We have now reached the conclusion of this session. But again, as we close, will be a very quick 5-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment for us to fill that out, your feedback is greatly appreciated. This is one of many college presentations being offered, so feel free to visit the website to check out the schedule. And lastly, this recording will be available at strivescan.com/Santa Rosa-Escambia. Again, thank you so much and have a great night.